Bill in Chandler, Arizona. Hey, Bill, you want to talk about fractional reserve banking, eh?
Well, it's interesting because, your last caller just talked about how if you built an apartment in the basement or did an asset.
Right.
But the interesting, we've broken the system of wealth redistribution in the world. Wages used to redistribute it. Taxes used to redistribute it. But instead now what we've allowed to happen is the banks were redistributing it through debt. And bank debt, when you and I borrow it, is real. We have to come up with the interest. We have to earn that extra money to pay it back.
Yeah.
The government, on the other hand, doesn't really, because they print the money, at least in our case. Mm-hmm. And if you were to actually take the fictitious money that we've created in the system, which is, fractional reserve or even Federal Reserve, because who's to say there's real money backing every dollar the U.S. government prints?
Right.
If we did an audit, I doubt.
Well, there is no such thing as real money.
Right,
it's all real money. I mean, you take your choice. It's one or the other, but it's fiat money. So there's nothing that backs our money beyond the wealth and confidence in the United States of America.
Right, but it's not even the wealth, because it's the production, the future potential.
Arguably, I mean, the country though does have assets. Our families in the United States are sitting on $46 trillion worth of assets.
But that's fictional assets. It's only there because we put a value on a dollar and say that's what they have.
Well, but people have houses and land and. Oh,
no, right. No, that's real assets.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. If you add up, and if you add that up along with what people have invested, it's $46 trillion. I mean, we are incredibly rich
where I'm going
as a country.
This.
Okay, go there then.
Okay, so let's say as an example, I have a customer who's owed me $100 for the last 2 years. Okay. And if all they did was continue to do business with me and never paid me back, I would not be an unhappy person. Mm-hmm. Because what I need is income now, not income from the past.
Right. Even though you are basically subsidizing them to the tune of 2 or 3% a year, $2 or $3 a year against that 100, right, which is what you could earn if you had taken that $100 and thrown it into a T-bill.
Exactly. But so if we basically forgave all fictional or fractional debt, let's say, the only people getting hurt are the people who own the banks.
Who would make the interest, yes.
Who would make the interest. And in reality, all they're making is the interest, because that other money is sort of, printed money. It's fictional money. And
go ahead.
I was going to say, like, for an example, I have assets, but I probably have liabilities to the bank exceeding my assets by a small amount. There are some people who have absolutely no assets, who owe money, who would come off, at least they'd be net zero. Mm-hmm. So, if they could go out tomorrow and work, they'd be better off than they are today. I'd be no worse off than I am today. And maybe Mitt Romney, instead of dying with $200 million, may die with, I don't know, say $50 million in the bank.
Yeah, I think he's probably closer to $800 million to $1 billion right now. But yeah, point taken. And in fact, to put an even finer point on this, the Quran forbids the charging of interest. And so in Muslim countries that are operating under Muslim law, Muslim/whatever law, the banking systems don't charge interest. They don't do fractional reserve banking. Instead, they do fee-based banking. So, which is much like what the Swiss do, oddly enough. When I lived in Germany, I tried to open a Swiss bank account and discovered to my horror that if I put my money in the Swiss bank, I had to pay them every month to keep my money, rather than getting interest on the money. And it can be quite expensive, by the way.
Well, but what we've done, too, by allowing 30% interest rates and 7% mortgage rates and things of that nature, is we found another way to redistribute money from working people to the rich.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And this is... arguably, Judaism and Christianity both also, forbid the charging of interest. It's called usury. We converted that in our minds into excessive interest. And up until the Nixon administration, it was illegal in the United States for anybody to charge anybody over 10%. And now you've got payday lenders that are charging 500% a year.
But at least they're charging on real money, not fractional money. Banks are charging it on fractional money.
Yeah, I'm with you.